Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's show, where I'll be sharing insights in terms of how you, as a nurse with many decades of experience, can actually turn on the switch to your entrepreneurial journey. So that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Vibreen Samuels, and I help baby boomers reinvent themselves psychologically, practically, and technically so they can thrive in their third act of life. And so before I dive in and give you the context and then move to Sharetribe, don't forget to click that subscribe button. So this week, I was in one of my playgrounds, and it was a tech playground, and I went to Tech Show London. So here's the actual guide. So the show guide and Tech London. What it actually is, it's a huge exhibition that's looking at cloud computing, DevOps, cybersecurity, as well as big data and AI. And that's what really drew my attention. So I went to a couple of the panels, and there were two discussions that caught my attention. One was around recruitment of getting into the world of data analytics, for example. But the second one was about healthcare and the problems that the NHS in particular are facing when it's talking about digital transformation. And they shared this stat that 70% of the digital transformation programs and projects that are launched within the NHS actually fail. They don't go anywhere. And that 70% is a huge number. Now, you're a clinician who happens to be a nurse with so much years experience. How do you then create leverage that enables you to connect with new technology to serve patients in a meaningful way? And they identified some of the problems. So, for example, digital transformation isn't readily accepted or led from the front in terms of leadership and creating the culture for digital transformation. Also, there are silos and internecine warfares and people not wanting to give up and share power with other stakeholders, which you as a nurse with so much experience is, one of those stakeholders. And even though there might be these micro shoots of success, overall, there's a lot of work that needs to be done to ensure that the workforce is, trained in a digital way. So what does that mean for you as a nurse with decades of experience who may be still within the NHS, or you've come out of it, or you've retired for a bit and you want to get back into it? How can you leverage your background and your expertise so that you can turn on this entrepreneurial switch? Now, you might not be aware of the fact that you have been swimming in lakes of data. What do I mean by this? So with decades of experience, you understand the different illnesses, disease, the different conditions, medication management, as well as pharmaceuticals. You understand where the inefficiencies are within the system. So therefore, there are trillions and trillions and quadrillions of pieces of data that you have consciously or unconsciously imbibed over the decades of experience. Now, I'm mentioning this so that you get an understanding of the context in which you could then go on to build products and services. So I need to share with you, where does all of that sit within the world of artificial intelligence and big data? Now, big data drives artificial intelligence. And when you're thinking of a hospital, healthcare service, any large institution, as I said, these trillions of pieces of data, and they sit within the realm of business artificial intelligence, which is the second wave of AI. The first wave was internet AI, which really was about search. Think of Google and everything that's flowed since then. You're searching for information, like here on YouTube or on Netflix, and then you want something, and then the recommendation engine kicks in. That's the first wave, which we're very familiar with around AI. The second wave is this business artificial intelligence. And here, these large institutions are trying to make sense of their data. How are they going to examine, explore, to pull out anomalies or commonalities that are going to help to improve business practices, to get rid of inefficiencies and deliver better healthcare services to us as patient consumers. So that's the context. Now, you as a nurse, you have a micro version of that in terms of your domain expertise. So if I were you, if I was a nurse with decades of experience, here's what I would do. First of all, I would start and kind of look at what's happened in the last 20 to 30 years since I have been walking through this world of healthcare. And do you know that healthcare is the largest industry in the whole world? So it's worth trillions, trillions, and trillions of dollars and pounds and any other currency. But here you are, you've got this, asset of data. I would start looking through that data. You could take it by decade. What were some of the prevailing trends that you have gathered expertise over this period of time? What stood out for you? Or another way to approach it is to think about it in terms of what really has held your interest. What are you really interested in? You've got this phenomenally nuanced asset. I would start looking at, are you somebody that's really interested in the patient journey, i.e., you've seen treated thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of us as patients? Are we more inclined towards the allopathic style, traditional style of healthcare, or do we lean more towards the holistic approach, or are we a hybrid? So you've kind of been immersed in all of that. Or is it a case that your focus is more about the inefficiencies within the healthcare sector that you would like to address? Or is it about the different types of medication? So you'd be looking at it through those, through those lenses, in a sense, in terms of where you spot the gaps and where potentially are the opportunities. So let me give you an example. There's a startup called Intelligent Health, and it was actually created and launched by this doctor, Dr. Iman Abazeed, and she raised about $80 million back in 2021, and Forbes have named her company as, the next billion-dollar startup. And what does the actual platform solve? So she has created like a LinkedIn for nurses. And the problem is about nurses who are looking for full-time work, and then companies, hospitals, healthcare trusts, the whole gamut within the world of healthcare, pay to go on their platform, and then using algorithms they match. And actually, by creating and delivering that service, each hospital saves about $2 million every year by using that service. Now, here you are, a nurse with all of this experience. So you might want to problem solve around, the inefficiencies, but also the treatment of nurses. So instead of, for example, setting up the LinkedIn for nurses, you might want to create a job board. And the job board could be, actually, your interest and focus and specialism is the understanding of the world of ICU. So maybe that you build this job board around ICU nurses. Now you think, do you want it around permanent staff, or do you want it in terms of secondments, or do you want it in terms of temporary? You get to decide. And so with this job board, you'd be inviting, obviously, companies who are looking for your assets, and the assets would be in the form of the profile of the nurses or other clinicians who are on this platform. So that's one idea that you could do. And don't worry, you don't have to raise any money, certainly not at this stage, or you have to learn to code, not at all, because I've got a no-code resource that's going to help you. A second idea could be around having health coaching. So here, you're used to dealing with patients, and maybe they want an exercise plan, they want a health plan, they want an accountability plan. And so you're creating this health coaching platform. Again, you're inviting clinicians, nurses, where there be, putting in their profile details around their qualifications, around their certificates, around their areas of specialism. Again, you're matching, you're bringing two parties together to solve a problem. A third example could be around nursing care services. So here you're creating a platform, and maybe the services are around wound care, maybe it's about medication management, or maybe IV therapy. And here, instead of thinking about you want to deliver a city-wide service, maybe you just focus it down on your borough, or maybe your town, or maybe your ward, so that you really are providing this personalized service whereby nursing care agencies and organizations are listed around, what they do, what they offer, what their specialism is, and then we as patient consumers go in and look for the service that we want. So they are three clear ideas how you can begin to leverage your expertise, and whether you do that as a solopreneur or whether a group of you get together, the idea is that you start to leverage the background based on your own analysis. So what's going to help you cross the bridge? There is a no-code solution called Sharetribe. So it's this idea of this kind of dragging and dropping and using templates and models to build platforms. And Sharetribe is great because it's a marketplace solution. So it's bringing two sides together. So here's how you would start. You'd literally go and set up an account at sharetribe.com, and you can kickstart it for free for the first 30 days. And then beyond that, if you're trying to build up to like 100 clients or consumers, then it will be around, I think, $79 per month. And then if you want to build it up to about 1,000 users, then that's about $119 per month. But the idea is this: you've got the templates and how you would build your landing page. You could use Sharetribe, but here's an even better model. So just imagine you're trying to build this one-page landing page to attract people so that they could opt in. There's a resource called card.co, and card is spelled CARRD.co. It's a one-page landing page. It's completely free. So you could actually build this as the user interface, and it could simply have, information about the service you want to provide. People can log in, they can join your waitlist as you build out using Sharetribe. Or if you wanted to really make use of the service and some of its additional services, you would pay $19 a year in order to be part of Card's service. So that sorts out your user interface. Let's now get back to Sharetribe. So let's pick the healthy coaching service, for example. So you'd sign into Sharetribe, you would name the marketplace. Let's say it's healthy coaching. You have information around the brand that you want to develop, the type of services you want to develop, and then you're creating lists. And the lists equate to the profiles. So here, with the healthy coaching example, what you would do is you would be inviting other nurses where they will be filling out their profile. And the profile, as I said, will be about who they are, what their specialism is, what their qualifications are, what any certifications, anything that validates who they are and who their experience, what their experience is. And then us as consumer patients can go in and look at who is the potential health coach. And then secondly, what you will be doing is building in the type of services that will be offered. Maybe it's a 7-day meal prep plan that could be replicated each month, each week. Maybe it's an exercise plan. Maybe it's a combination of those two. Maybe it's about accountability. So you would list the profiles of each of the members, as well as the services. And what Sharetribe also allows you to do, it has a built-in payment processor. So you could take payments via PayPal or Stripe, for example. So that's built in. So you can see how it simplifies the development of a service that kickstarts you into marrying a need with a solution. And in addition, you're providing value to yourself and the users, and you're leveraging your background. So it's a fantastic way for you to do that. So once you've kind of populated the marketplace, and the categories are really straightforward in terms of what you would input, then you're ready to launch. So you launch it because you've built the front end very simply, because the card.co equally has templates that you can use. And so you bring the card user face together with the marketplace of Sharetribe, and voila, you have your first startup, this first entrepreneurial gig. Now, if you wanted to get a little bit more fancy, what you can do is now link it back to the Business A.I. I was speaking about. And because it's now populated with, the delivery agents, i.e. the health coaches or the job board, or whether it's the nursing service, and then you've got us as consumer patients who are going in searching. Now AI will start combing through that data. What are people looking for? What are they interested in? And the beauty about AI is that the algorithms do all of the analytical work that we as humans don't have the kind of mental capacity nor visually would be able to comb through the nuances of the data. And Business AI, what it does is help not only comb through the nuances of the data, but on the basis of what is discovered, can then offer personalized treatments that then tie in even more deeply and tightly with what we as consumer patients are looking for. So that's the fancy edition that you can layer on top. So that's it. You as a nurse that's got decades of experience, and nurses they've cared for all of us, provided for all of us, and have been deeply undervalued. Here is a way that you can begin to build on your background that helps you develop your digital transformation, that helps you stay engaged within the world of healthcare, but you're just pivoting it so that you're able to tap into the entrepreneurial opportunities that are emerging, because you're bringing together your background, leverage, and then you're connecting it to technology. And in this instance, it's Sharetribe, which is a marketplace. So that's it. That's what I wanted to share with you on today's episode. So feel free to comment. I'd love to hear your comments, any ideas that you have. If you are one of these clinicians, one of these wonderful nurses who is looking for ways whereby you can actually enhance your life, then please put them in the comment box below, any ideas that you have, and feel free to invite, whether it's your grandmother, your grandfather, your parents, your friend, your neighbor who's a fabulous boomer, onto my channel, where, as you know, each week I come here at 3:30 on a Sunday to impart insights that can really help you to thrive. So stay well, and I will see you again next week on next week's show. Bye.